Greetings, citizens. This is Jarvis, and once again with me is my passionate common sense lightning dragon. I want to give you our quick thoughts today about the Aegis Eclipse, and I'll go ahead and let Lightning jump in on it. Tell me what you think about the ship so far.
Oh, you don't want me to tell you what I actually think.
Yeah,
I think it's overpriced, because I initially thought we were going to get like a stealth variant of the Retaliator. You know, something that maybe isn't quite as big, but it's got a lot of stealth tech. You know, everything's reduced down. And so it's like, oh, well, that's why it's going to be like, you know, $300 or something, whatever I said. But it's actually smaller than that, which means, a strawman argument here, my point still stands. Because what it is it's a undergunned, sort of larger version of the Gladiator. The Gladiator has better, like, weapon loadout, like, you know, the regular pew-pew guns, but it's got a lot smaller torpedoes. Where the Aegis has got the same torpedo size as the Retaliator.
Yeah, half the payload of the Retaliator. Yeah.
So it's got. I'm hoping it's going to be a very maneuverable craft, but it is not a bomber. In the World War II era, which is what Chris likes to base his games out of, these were called attack planes. They were ground and air, like the A-20G. There was variants of the B-25 that had additional guns put on the front to make them attack planes. These were these medium ships or medium planes, or like heavy fighters. The Germany had one of them. I can't remember exactly the name of it, but the thing is, they didn't work because they were too heavy. Now, obviously, that's World War II, and this is space. That doesn't apply. But what it is it's a very, very expensive version of the Gladiator with a lot of the Retaliator's firepower as far as the torpedoes go.
Yeah. But, you know, and I can understand your point of view on that, and I guess it comes down to a little bit to utility as well. I mean, it depends on how they implement the stealth mechanics and how effective the ship is at those mechanics. Now, in my opinion, like, the ship has two size 2 fixed weapons, and with the power plant size, it's most likely you're going to want to go ahead and use something like physical weapons or whatnot. Also, I feel that physical weapons, if they do stealth the way that I would feel stealth would be best, physical weapons would have a lower energy sig than, say, you know, energy weapons. Obviously, you want to keep your sig low,
heat signature and stuff like that.
Exactly, anything you can. But to me, the guns on this ship feel like, you know, they're there just as a
crap.
Well, yeah. What I imagine though with this ship, when I look at it, is that it's probably not going to be nimble when carrying those torpedoes. But after you launch, the ship's probably going to be pretty nimble. It's very thin. As far as if you were behind the ship shooting at it, it'd be a pretty hard target to actually hit. It's a very, very...
Because it's a flying wing. It very much reminds me of the B-2. It's just a very, very small version of that. And if you look at the ship stats page, which I know they change all the time, but they're a good baseline of where things are going to shift to. It's actually the lightest ship when you compare it to every other bomber in the game. The Gladiator, the Retaliator, even the Vanguard. The Vanguard is like 45 tons. The Gladiator's 26 tons. This thing is down here at 17. This thing is like lighter than the Hornet.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This thing is made to get in. You're gonna not be detected, to drop its payload, and to turn around and get the heck out. And that's fine. I think for it is a very specialized ship. It is something that you may actually go ahead and send these in first to soften up a target, so that as the Retaliators are coming in, they can finish it off. I don't know, or maybe it's if you're coming against something like a Connie or something like that. A ship like this would actually be pretty dangerous to something like that. If it can't be detected and it fires a torpedo up your butt, one of those torpedoes of that size can cause a lot of damage to a Connie or another Tally or other similar size ships, Starfarers, etc. So I feel that this ship has a lot of good functionality, but I'm going to be honest about this a little bit. I feel that this ship would almost have the best benefits in the hands of pirates. You know, you just basically, you know, can't be seen. You come up, you blast their engines with a torpedo, and you set up the disabled ship for your teammates to come in. No, as I say, it can be used for defensive purposes too. But I think that this is I like it. I like the ship. I really do. I think it's. I don't think it's ugly. I think it's well designed.
Ship.
It's sexy as hell. I don't
think the pricing and some of the weapon loadouts are a bit questionable, but I mean, maybe it's going to get a larger size power plant. Like right now, it has like a size 1 power plant. That's not big enough, especially when you have, when you compare the Gladiator, which is at like a size 2 or something, and it has 2 TR4 engines.
And I could see them sizing up the guns to a size 3 down the road just to match like the fighter standard, especially when they're fixed. I could see them doing that as some sort of standard, because it seems to me that fighters, when you have a fixed weaponry like this, that's kind of the standard. But then again, maybe that's all they could fit in the because those weapons stow up inside the hull.
Yeah, it's a very thin ship.
Yeah, so maybe it's possible that the size 3 just wouldn't fit, and size 2 is all that goes in there. And if that's a physical limitation and actually a realistic, it just won't fit outside that, that's fine. I can deal with that too. It doesn't really matter. I don't think you're going to be taking the ship in there. The guns, I look at them, as I said, almost like utilitarian. Like, hey, there's an asteroid in the way. Let's just shoot the asteroid.
It's one of the things, if you have to switch to guns in this ship, you done fucked up, probably. I look at this ship as... You have a base, for example. You want to attack a base. Maybe it's a station. Maybe it's a ground base. Maybe it's a farm. You don't like farmers, and it doesn't have a lot of defenses, but it has some defenses, and it's enough to where you're like, oh, if I take a big ship in, it'll just alert the authorities, and then they'll bring more defenses in. So what you do is you come in there and you do a light strike, because it's half the payload of a tally, and then you soften it up for like the ground forces or something, or you like see what the response is, like, oh, well, they brought in this huge capital ship after the base got bombed, let's leave this place alone for now. It's something to like test the defenses or attack lightly defended targets, because the thing is, while it's a stealth ship and hopefully you're not going to be seen, the problem is if you do get detected, it has less defensive capabilities than a Gladiator. So if you get detected in this thing and they can catch you, if they don't have if they don't rework how the flight systems work and the speed caps, you're probably going to just die.
Yeah, it needs to have a good getaway speed, or you're just toast.
And they need to work on the acceleration to mass ratio, because this thing is super light. 17 tons. This thing is like lighter than like the Auroras and the 300 series. This thing weighs nothing, so it's got to have just balls to the wall acceleration. Maybe it doesn't have a lot of top end because they're just size 2, but if you get that initial burst of acceleration, boom, now your stealth mechanics kick in and they can't see you.
Yeah, once you get the speed, you just shut it all down and drift.
Yeah, so I mean, I think the ship is overpriced. First of all, that's what I think. I think there's a
discount. There's a discount for the people who buy at War Bonds. I think it's actually $250.
Yeah, it's like $250 or $275, but that's not much of a discount. I mean, think of it as buying a slightly better Gladiator, and the Gladiator was like what, $150?
Something in that area, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so you're talking about like $100 more for a stealth mechanic.
Yeah.
But if they can work out the flight mechanics, the stealth mechanics, and by flight I mean everything: acceleration, turning, maneuverability. I mean everything to do with flight. If they can come up with a good acceleration-based throttle, or like a thrust-to-mass ratio or something like that, I think this ship will be really good at hitting lightly defined targets, and then you can send in the drop ships and stuff, and then you can tear it up to pieces. But as the game stands right now and what they're doing, it's too expensive.
Yeah, well, see, it may become, and that may be a factor that they're looking at creating a sense of artificial rarity, and in the verse, basically not having a lot of these out there, because these could become a lot of problems on high traffic space lanes or things like that, where people coming in and taking out cargo vessels, just crippling them.
That'd be awful. Yeah. You're in your hull C and you get torped by a capital class torpedo.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You may lose more cargo than it's worth to replace the torpedo.
Well, yeah, there's no such thing as surgical dynamite. So, yeah. So the ship is, of course, a stealth bomber, 21 meters long, 17,000 kilograms. One person, which is what I was surprised. I was originally expecting, when I saw that reveal of the picture, it would be a side-by-side. No cargo capacity.
Yeah, it does look like a side-by-side.
Yeah, 2 TR2 engines, and let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 TR1 thrusters.
2 of those are actually retro thrusters.
Yeah, it's true. They have the size 1 power plant, which is the iffy part in my mind to some degree. 2 size 2 fixed mounts.
It's a stealth power plant or something, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
but it's like,
And 3 size 9 pylon mounts for those torpedoes, and of course 2 size 1 shields.
Stealth shields.
Yeah, stealth shields. Whatever.
Stealth.
What I assume that is on the ship. It's stealth related. So yeah, to me this
2 size 1 shields is equivalent to like 1.5 or something.
Yeah.
Or maybe like 2.5 or something. The way the math works out is weird. But I mean, if you could, you know, going back to like X-Wing versus TIE Fighter here, if you can be like, oh, double front, double rear, I think that would make the dual shield systems amazing in the game. It would add an incredible amount of depth, and it would add a lot of versatility to the dual shield generator ships or the quad shield generator ships.
Yeah, you said overall, I think I think the ship's a good ship. Is the price a bit much? I can't say yes or no on that because it really depends on how it comes out. Of course, Lightning won't agree with that, but that's okay. We don't always have to agree. I still like them a little bit. So anyway, guys, that's our general thoughts.
Expensive.
That's our general thoughts on this ship, and I think it's going to have a lot of fun uses out there in the verse, but that really hinges upon how effective their stealth mechanics end up being. So anyway, guys, we'll catch you next time. I know it's been a busy week for videos, but there's been a lot of things coming out. So all right, we will go ahead and see you on the Blastcast.
Bye-bye, everybody.